Alright fellas, we're back over a Pokemon Masters video. It's time for us to do the showcase for the new Anniversary Red and Charizard. I have forgotten to give him his EX roll. Alright, yeah. Terra Dragon Charizard got his EX roll. Nice. Okay. Very good EX roll. Not for this level of investment so much, but still very good. This red does a lot. There's not enough time in the day. Alright, look. He's got two buddy moves. Shining Dragon Claw here, which does 100 damage, but the main thing is that it applies physical move break. It's got double power when the enemy does not have when the team does not have a sync buff, and it lowers enemies' defenses by 6 when the user's team does not have a sync buff. So you're getting a lot of good effects by using this pre-sync, but also it is good to use post-sync anyway, because you get to maximize the use of that physical move break, which we saw how good that was with Gloria, right? He's also got his other buddy move, Treasured Scales Outrage, which is activated whenever his attack is raised, and it never misses, and the more special moves up next is raised, the more it does extra damage, and it removes all of his special moves up next stacks. Thing is, once he terastallizes, of course, this move gains extra power, so at 1 out of 5, it's 99 power. You get an extra 100% damage per special move up next stack, so basically times this by 10 at maximum. It does 990 max power, obviously hitting really hard. The hardest hitting move in the game, especially once you have him invested. Protect here for damage guard. This does not have a great... This is a good ability to have at 1 out of 5 just because it gives you that extra ability to live those AoE moves, mostly sync moves, which we may see in this run that we're going to do against the damage challenge. But mostly this is used at 5 out of 5 in order to actually restore his buddy move NPRs. And of course, you know, the effects of that are extremely strong. Again, he's a god tier damage dealer, of course, as expected of a red unit, right? He's got sync countdown reduction by 2, super effective next, physical moves up next by 3, and sync move up next by 5 when using the trainer move. Again, some pretty good abilities there. You can do a lot of good sync acceleration stuff with him, so you can definitely play around a lot with his different abilities. Once we look at his passive skills, he's got Kanto Shining Legend. This is 20% power up, 25% damage reduction, more per Kanto character, and it increases his physical moves up next by 3 after his sync move, giving him even more moves up next to, you know, increase the power of what could be his what could be his Terra Blast here, which I guess going into that, 200 power. Never misses, charges gauge by 1 for each hit, and increases his sync move up next stacks by 1 for each hit as well. Again, very good effects. That's amazing sync damage. But of course, the damage that you can get increased is going to be good for this, right? So you're going to be getting some extra moves on next stacks to be potentially using the buddy move right after. So that could be very good. And then Shine of the Silent Fighting Spirit raises his attack by 6 on entry. Well, sync terastallization, but basically on entry. Has guaranteed crits on his moves and sync moves, and increases his moves up next, both physical and special, by 1 rank for when his attack move hits. This means it'll be +3 whenever he is hitting multiple enemies, and that is how you build up so many stacks of this so very quickly. Dragon Aura Overflow sets a Dragon Zone on his first attack move as well as on his sync move, so great, right? And also extending duration by 50%, making him an extremely good Dragon Zone setter, especially with how fast he can clear content. You pretty much do not need another Dragon Zone setter when this guy is on the battlefield, at least for now. And then Living Legends Intuition, applying the physical Kanto Circle when his sync moves use each battle, and applies another sync buff to the team the first time his sync moves use each battle, meaning that on top of the physical moves up next stacks, on top of the Dragon Zone, on top of the Circle already, you're also going to be getting an extra sync buff when using his sync move. And of course, his regular sync effects on 1 out of 5 are not crazy, but 375 power from the EX roll, plus the extra offenses and the sync buff, his sync is going to have value just at 1 out of 5. And again, with dupes, he gets even more crazy, mostly in the damage department. And well, yeah, so first battle, I honestly wanted to go ahead and fight Leon here. I want to see what we can do. Let's fight 600 strength Leon. I'm very curious. Let's see what happens. Well, I fought like 560 or something, and I forgot to invest in Red's EX roll, so this is just going to be even better. We do got to get a flinch here, or at least heavily preferred, because I really just don't want Iris to die. It would be annoying if that happened. Please, Iris, be nice. Flinch. Okay, we got the flinch. Nice. I know I know I didn't get to land that move, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. We'll go ahead and go for some outrage there. Or Terra Blast, rather. We're going to get hit with the Surf. We should be fine. The damage on this team is already looking good. That support Red is doing is really helping out with, like, Nate's damage, for example. Okay, use another one of those. The bite here literally just does not matter. Okay. Here's Red's sync move. He's got the 5 sync move next stacks from his trainer move, as well as 1 for, and I guess another +3 for using Terra Blast. 5,000. I mean, he's already doing so much damage, dude. It's actually absurd. Let's go for it. Forcing move up next. 7 physical moves up next. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we're cooking with here. All right, use that. Oh my god, they're dead. It's 36k, dude. 36. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's 600 strength Leon. And again, this is a 1 out of 5 red we're working with. 36,000 damage. That's Leon's entire health bar gone. Let's try that again. I'm curious. This is, I hate that it does this wrong team bullcrap. Okay. We literally just need Iris to survive long enough. Honestly, the sides are probably going to start doing a lot of damage. Let's do 680 strength. Let's see. Obviously, you can do 1,000 strength. With red, I don't probably, but like, whatever. I'm just doing these for a 1 out of 5 red showcase, all right? 1 out of 5 red. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Okay. Sure. Okay, we didn't get off the... Yeah, we did not. We're gonna want that flinch. Okay. We're gonna want that flinch. I'm gonna reset for the flinch. Okay, we got the flinch off. We're good. We went ahead and queued up moves with red and Nate, same way that I did before. Still a lot of damage. Just a good amount of it, if nothing else. All right, solid AoE damage as well. Bite here doesn't really matter, but that's okay. I'm not really a big fan of the AoE damage that we're doing, or they're doing to us, but that's fine. I also don't think I have Nate built for his optimal DPS grid either, so he's not doing as much damage as he could. At least I do not believe so. I could be wrong. I might just straight up be misremembering. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for this. I just hope we have enough. Please. Damn it. That's okay. Iris is going to go down, but that's fine. This gives us enough time to do damage to the sides. Because only Iris is going to get KO'd from the max move. This is how many moves up next stacks? 7 physical moves up next stacks with red, 4 special moves up next stacks, meaning this, again, not even close to his maximum power, right? There's the sync move. 36k. It would be better to go for protect here, by the way. It would just be better to go for protect here. Because that means we will at least live an attack. Okay, go for a protect. KO Nate. We should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah, this is where the protect really comes in handy, right? Right there, stuff like that. How many moves up next stacks does red have here? Sync move up next, probably like 1 or 2 maybe. Yeah, not too many. There's 4 physical moves up next though. There he goes, death. Okay, again, you know, you could do some better optimizations of that. That was just a throwaway team. Again, this is not like the best team to do for this stage or whatever, but like a lodge unit, a 1 out of 5 red, and a 3 out of 5 Nate. I mean, I'll take an easy 84k, and that's the better score for me. Boom, 300k, sure. And of course, we could take him against the Lance if we really want to see. Well, Lance is, no, we can't do Lance because strike damage, but if Lance was not strike damage reduced, we could do a good on-type showcase with him there. Anyway, yeah, that was some pretty good damage. I mean, against the high score event, 680k points. Again, a 1 out of 5 red. And not even an optimal strategy. I really could play around with that a little bit more and probably get better results. That's some good stuff, for sure. That's some very good stuff. Is Evelyn Dragon Week? Or no, okay, so it's Morgan this Dragon Week. We can try and bring Red into a situation against, like, one of these other ultimate battles and see just, like, what his big boy damage numbers are going to be kind of looking like. Morgan's a good on-type showing. We'll do Morgan. I'll have to get some partners prepared just to see like kind of who I should probably bring as partners, given that she likes to do a lot of debuffing and stuff. So I'll build a team and figure it out. All right, I'll build a team. All right, so here's the setup I'm going to go with. Yeah, Gloria, whatever. Gloria just is a decent support that has Impervious and can debuff enemy stats. You can use like Arc Steven or something. Yeah, I'm not. Let's just assume most people have Arc Steven. I want to fish for a flinch here. Please get the flinch, because my god, we know it takes long enough naturally. Okay. Will-O-Wisp. Go ahead and go for a breaking swipe. Please, flinch. Please flinch. Okay, we're gonna have to fish for a flinch here, because those do way too much damage. Okay, we got the flinch. Nice. Very, very nice. Okay. That's fine. That's cool. It's good. It's good. We'll go for the trainer move to max out stats and stuff. Fine. And keep going for breaking swipe with Leon here because it does a ton of damage. Well, it doesn't do. Well, okay, it does good damage, not like a ton of damage, but does enough. Does enough damage is the big thing. Okay. We're getting debuffed with red, but that's fine. Red has headstrong in the grid. Very, very helpful at 1 out of 5 investment. Nice, nice. Sure, sure. Still doing a bunch of damage, too. I mean, yeah, okay, we can go for a Gloria's Meteor Quick Attack here, especially if we quad Q. We'll go ahead and do that. And then we can get in red sync move really soon. Let's just say really soon. All right. Nice. By the way, I don't think the sync count... I did kind of waste red's trainer move, but I needed actions, and I wanted to preserve Dragon Zone for a little bit. Okay, also, that was a stupid play to go for Leon's attack, but that's fine. It's going to give us the debuffs. That's kind of what we're really wanting to go for here. Okay, there we go. Bunch of sync countdown, and it gives us all the extra effects of that. We still have the defensive circle up. Icy Wind doesn't hurt too bad. I mean, look at all the stat debuffs red's got on him there. It's gonna hurt for sure. It's hurting a little bit. All right, red sync move. This is of course not having Dragon Zone up or anything like that, but it's got like 10 sync move up next. He's gonna be fine to do enough damage here, especially with Gloria's buffs and the physical break. I mean, 20. Oh, special defense. How am I? Yeah, the special defense buffs. Okay, we can play around that. Not a big deal. That sucks because we can't get a massive red mega nuke in, but we can play around it. Play around it for sure. We need more debuffs. Desperately need more debuffs. There we go. Okay, we got a lucky flinch. Good, good. Is that gonna KO the sides? Sides are dead. All right, there we go. And now go for this and the red trainer move, buddy move, whatever. All right, how much is this gonna do? I would imagine a lot. There's a lot of debuffs there from Leon, and I think well, she's dead. Oh no, please. Is that enough debuff? That's enough debuffing. There we go. She's dead. 870k. If I had more moves up next stacks, that would have been 999k, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously, red broken. gonna. The only thing that red has an issue with against this ultimate battle, by the way, none of his moves miss, so her accuracy debuffs don't matter, but obviously with him being able to be debuffed, he's susceptible to the damage that she can do when you are debuffed, but also with how strong he is, you can easily pre-sync the stage, right? You just have to have characters that can apply a lot of good debuffing for red, so that he can actually do as much damage as possible, while also being able to like survive the enemy attacks. And so the flinches, the Gloria, and her debuffs plus Leon's debuffs were the option I went for. You can probably get away with some option like, you know, Champion Leaf or something, right? A very decent sub option, you know, who can do potions. I think has like Team Sunny. Is it Team Sunny debuff immunity? No, it's Team Sunny status condition immunity. But you know, if you get the characters like with those debuffs and stuff that can apply the defense and special defense debuffs to Morgan to deactivate her gimmicks, and also the attack and defense debuffs to the sides to deactivate their gimmicks, red is just going to shred through all the enemies, no problem at all, right? You just got to kind of work with those gimmick checks, right? Let's bring him, I guess, against Palmer. I love doing Palmer as an ultimate battle stage just because he's the ultimate definition of, like, not ultimate definition. There's definitely a more egregious stages at this point, but precinct gods, I guess, is the best way to kind of put it for Palmer. Arc Lance is a fun go-to. That's not Arc Lance. That's Arc Lance. And for a supportive option, we could bring Lodge Lance, or we could bring Chase. Chase applies another circle and some more sync countdown, so we can play around a lot with that. So I guess we'll kind of go around. We could go for this setup. I know this is a setup a lot of people do like to go for. I don't have Chase with investment. I don't have anyone besides Lance really with investment. So, you know, keep all of that in mind. And I'm also using the completely suboptimal Lance grid here. Let's see. This is a decent enough grid. Please do not consider this as like the best showcase or the best grid or anything for some of these characters. Just kind of going for it. I'm kind of winging it just because I don't really think it matters. These anniversary units are that cracked. They're going to be great. They're going to be amazing units. All of Red, Gloria, and Eriott, right? So just keep that in mind. Okay. And also Chase can apply some special moves up next stacks for Lance, but you know, Red's buddy move is going to really appreciate them. So let's go for this, get the Giga Impact in for those debuffs there. The sides are gonna... The real struggle of this fight legitimately could end up just being the sides. We'll go for this, because we're gonna go for Chase's sync move anyway. We could go for Red sync move, but Chase's might end up being better. Alright, there we go. Get some defense debuffs in there. It would have been better to use this afterwards. That's fine. That's fine, that's fine. I think I have Chase's. Yeah, I have Chase's EX roll invested, so we're good here for this. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Got that in. Let's get in the hyper beam. Okay, that's the physical move break. All right, let's go for a red Terra Blast here. Then we'll go for a red Sync move to maintain that Dragon Zone and also set up that Kanto Circle, which will look very, very impressive, of course. We're also going to want to go for the attack the sides here soon, because otherwise they kind of live, and we don't really want that. We'll go ahead and set up the Kanto Circle. Of course, the Dragon Zone goes out as Ice Sync. That's my luck. Love it. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, sure. Doesn't matter, I guess. 48k, but we lose the physical move break here, don't we? Let's go ahead and go for the... Sure. Let's do it. That gives us more special moves up next stacks. That's the physical move break gone, isn't it? Yeah, that's the physical move break gone. Okay, which still did 522k. I want to see this with the physical move break still up, though. Okay, this should be a ever so slightly better showing, I suppose. Let's go ahead and go for the Shining Dragon Claw here. Doing a bunch of good AoE damage here. Not AoE damage, but side target damage with Lance. Okay. Special Kanto Circle is going to go down. Not that it really impacts much of anything. Okay, Dragon Zone's probably going to go down at the same time, but whatever. Can't really do much about that. Okay, no, Dragon Zone stays up. That's fine. Good. Yay, that's what we want. Okay, I'm just willing down the sides because I know Lance is just going to obliterate them with the sides, or with his buddy move, and we're not even going to have to use Lance's buddy move here on Palmer. Like, it's actually that. It's that stupid. Okay, we got the Kanto Circle. 4 physical moves up next. Complete Death and Destruction. Okay, sure. Let's go for it. Alright, there we go. What are we dealing with? I'm seeing... no Snorlax isn't even attacking? What's this doing? 623k. Alright, it one-shots Palmer from that amount of HP. Yeah, that's about what... That's the level of strength that we're dealing with. And how much is Lance doing here? 139k? Yeah, that's without... That's -4 defense, no special defense down. Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, I don't need you to tell... you don't need me to tell you this, but the team of Arc Lance, New Anniversary Red, and Chase is so extremely strong in damage that you don't really have to worry about, like, pretty much any of the fight, even any of the fights. Like, if you can... I mean, people with investment have done full ultimate battle runs, right? But like you don't really have to worry about a lot of stages gimmicks given the amount of different, like, there's sync utility, there's debuffs with Lance on the team, there's paralysis with Lance and Chase on the team, there's the circle setting, there's the Dragon Zone setting that's going to be able to deactivate gimmicks, there's the rebuff Lance does, it's going to be able to deactivate gimmicks, there's so much support. You've got Lance for damage reduction and extra power-ups with his arc passive, Red with the same thing, the circle from both Chase and Red, physical and special, so you've got even more sync damage reduction and sync power-ups with that, plus the regular moves as well. So much damage reduction to be thrown around on that team, so much extra power to be thrown around on the team, that, like, so many of these ultimate battles just are destroyed. Like Wally here, just an example for one ultimate battle, just one I kind of throw out there. Look at Wally's gimmicks. He needs special defense, debuffs, and a field effect. Dragon Zone and Lance can debuff special defense extremely well. There you go. There's your gimmick check for that stage. Dana, I would imagine, is going to be rough, but I'm pretty sure... restores HP when an ally attack targeting opponent misses. Red has guaranteed landing attacks, and you can just run Acuity on Lance. I forget which one that she has, but I know she does a lot of healing. I know she can do Healing Hail, but I forget what the Ice Zone is. Is it damage reduction? Which either way, you can get rid of the Ice Zone for Dragon Zone, and you can probably hit through a lot of the healing that Dana does because you can do so much damage. Again, look at Palmer. A 1 out of 5 red. That was a 1 out of 5 red. 1 out of 5 red. Not 3 out of 5. Not 5 out of 5. None of that. Look at how much damage he did to Palmer with that setup, right? Not even like the craziest setup. He had like 9 special moves up next, plus 4 physical moves up next. You can definitely fish for like better buffs. And again, with investment, you can get even better stacks than that. And Red did what? Like, what was it? 600k or something like that to Palmer? What is Dana going to do against a lot of that? What are a lot of these stages going to do against that? You can clear so many stages with this character. This character is so oppressive in damage, even just with 1 out of 5 copy, man. I don't know how else to say that. The thing is, I don't need to invest in my Red. I don't need to, because my Red is doing so much damage shredding that I don't care about what he has to do for anything else. The only thing that I worry about is being able to do enough damage to the sides. That is my worry, is literally the amount of damage I do to the sides, because his damage, his main damage here is the single target buddy move, right? That is literally the only thing that I'm worrying about with when I'm using red is my AoE damage. That's it. And even under that, you saw how much damage Lance could do to like side enemies and stuff, right? Just without even having debuffs up, or at least with very minimal debuffs. Yeah, I'm not that worried. I'm really not that worried when it comes to having to use this red in higher level content like these ultimate battles or the tower, right? I'm not going to struggle. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the new anniversary red and Charizard. Just at 1 out of 5, EX rolled unlocked. Yeah, I think I'm not going to invest in him. I don't need to because he is just that stupid and that strong. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you all think about it in the comments below. If he's cracked, if he's not. I'll see you later. I hope you all enjoyed. Peace.